Hey polish fans, it's Caroline again and welcome to another video here at Lemming Lacquer. In today's video I am doing part 3 of the huge comparisons portion of the estate haul of nail polish that I got that I have been going over since, oh goodness, was that April? Yeah, since April. So I did the haul that was over 2,000 bottles and now I am very slowly going through all of the comparisons. I have started with the Colors by La Robe. I got over, I think, 300 bottles from this brand, just this brand in that haul. So I've been going over the different color categories. I've done berries in part 1 and reds and oranges in part 2. And today we are doing the pinks. As you can see, there's not as many as there were of the reds and the oranges. I have them sorted from lightest to darkest. We get into almost the berries, but these still lean fuchsia as opposed to the berry shades that we did in part 1. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in. The first two that we're going to look at is Pretty in Pink and an Oops. And these are both the most silver leaning of the pinks. And as you can see, they're not going to be dead on dupes. They do have various components in them. The Pretty in Pink one has a more of a silver holographic in it. Actually, they both have a silver holographic component, the finer silver holo that you're seeing. But in Pretty in Pink, there is a larger holographic glitter as well, also in silver. Whereas in the Oops, there is a larger fuchsia glitter, actually two different kinds of a fuchsia glitter, as well as the silver linear flare. It's also a bit lighter, not quite as pink. I don't know if on camera you can see the sort of a pink champagne coloration. It's only a bit pinker. They're both a very, very light pink. Here they are on the swatch sticks. We have the Oops on top and Pretty in Pink on the bottom. These are both in 3 coats with a glossy top coat. I think here you can definitely see the differences in those glitters. You've got the chunkier fuchsia glitters on the Oops, and then the Pretty in Pink has those silver glitters. So obviously I like both of these. For all of these were in my keeps pile for a reason. I liked them. So now I'm just trying to decide if I do need both of these in my collection. Obviously, these were found over the course of many weeks and or months of unboxing that entire huge haul. So I wasn't really keeping track of if I'd already found something similar. Also, I think on the swatches, you can definitely tell that difference of the pink. Pretty in Pink is definitely pinker, whereas you have much more of a prominent silver flash or a silver front to the Oops. So they are very different. I'm just trying to decide if I need both. I mean, the silver holo in that Pretty in Pink is very pretty. I like the larger particle size, but I'm really loving the silverness to that Oops. And I think that might actually be the winning component. I think I'm going to go for keeping the Oops and getting rid of Pretty in Pink. With my fuchsias, I was able to do about half, and in the reds, I didn't do so well. I only did about a third. So in this one, I would say probably at least a third, if not half, but we'll see how that goes. But for the time being, keeping the Oops and getting rid of the Pretty in Pink. All right, the next one doesn't really have anything to compare it to. This is pretty unique. This is Subtle Little Number. This is in 3 coats with a glossy top coat. And this is one of the few like this that I think was in the entire haul from this brand. This is a Crelly. So you have a very soft, light pastel pink, and then in that mix you have these little bright pink glitters. You've got soft yellow glitters in a larger size, some purple glitters, and pink glitters. So a number of different sizes and shapes of glitters. I thought it was a really cute mix. I think in the bottle there might even be some white glitters as well. So like I said, this is a pretty unique combination, and because of that, this is also going to be a keeps. I definitely didn't find anything else like it, at least in this brand. Unfortunately, after I do these comparisons of the brands, I will have to go through my keep tote again and compare it by color, since I will have already compared it by brands, but that's stage 3. But yeah, for the time being, I think this is going to go in the keeps. I think this is a really cute polish and would be perfect for spring. So that was Subtle Little Number. The next one also doesn't really have anything to compare it to. This one is Pink Twinkle. This is in 3 coats with a glossy top coat. This is possibly designed as a topper. It is pretty sheer. It is still squishy in these 3 coats, but it has a lot of that pink twinkle in it. So this one I do think I want to hold on to. I want to see how it would be as a topper. Yeah, I'm liking all of the little silver and maybe even pink glitters that's in here. So yeah, I think I do want to hold on to this one. It has a lot of sparkle and twinkle. Now, this one isn't the glossiest. I think that's because there is so much of that sparkle and twinkle in the glitter. So this one, if I were to wear it in 3 coats, I would probably want to put a glitter smoother and then a top coat. But for my purposes, I would probably end up wearing this as a topper. So that is Pink Twinkles going in the Keepsies pile. The next one also doesn't really have anything to compare it to because this is the only pink holo in this shade range. The other ones, as you can see, were either much lighter or have a deeper tone of pink. So there isn't really anything to compare this one to. This is I Look Good in Stirrups. This is in 3 coats with a glossy top coat. And yeah, this is a really nice shade of pink. As you can see, the holo on this is really nice. It has a very prominent linear flare on both the nail and in the bottle. So this is kind of in the same shade range as I think a Color Club that I first fell in love with as a pink holo. And I really like it. Now, because I do have a few pink holos already in this shade range, do I need another one? And I think because of that, because it is a pretty simple, straightforward, just holo, and I feel like I do have a number of holos in this color range, I think I am actually going to go ahead and destash this one. Yeah, I mean, I like it, but like I said, I think I have a few others that fill this area in my collection. I don't think I necessarily need another one. So yeah, we're going to go with it. That was I Look Good in Stirrups going into the Destash. All right, next up is another one that doesn't have anything to compare it to, but I think for the sake of time, I am going to compare it to the one next to it, even though they definitely aren't dupes. We have Beautiful Disaster and Polishing Under the Influence. So these are 2 different formulations. The first one is a straight up glitter balm that has pink and maybe even blue and red holo glitters, and then Polishing Under the Influence has flakies and is a slightly like rusty leaning pink. It has some of those flakies that have an orange flash to them. So here are those 2 side by side. These are both in 3 coats with a glossy top coat. And as you can see, Beautiful Disaster is definitely a glitter bomb. This one probably needs another coat of top coat for it not to be any amount of texture. And then the orange eye, at least in person, of Polishing Under the Influence is very prominent. It has a mix of that pink tone to it. It's got that rust quality. There's some blue and purple that flashes. So like I said, definitely not dupes. They aren't even the same formula, but do I need both? Let's see. We're going to do another quick little coat of this so I can see Beautiful Disaster glossy again, because it's kind of hard to make a decision when it is not shiny. So this is one that I would probably wear with a glitter smoother and then a top coat, because glitter bombs like this are known for being thirsty. They seem to just soak in the top coat. All right, so here is Beautiful Disaster. Whoa, totally freaking my camera out with all of the twinkles. Oh my goodness. Look at all the colors. Okay, so those colors actually show up best when it's slightly out of focus. I mean, look at all the rainbows on that. That is hard to argue with. That is a keeper. Beautiful Disaster is a keeper. Beautiful. And I'm going to put that up there so it doesn't get more fuzzies on it. And then we have Polishing Under the Influence. This one is the one with flakies and of course a bunch of different kinds. We have the rusts, the pinks, and the purples, blues. I think this is another keeper, even though this is pretty sheer. I'm wondering if this was intended maybe as more of a topper because it is so sheer. There isn't really any color to the base. Most of the color that you're seeing, maybe even all of it, are those flakies layering up over each other. So it's really pretty, and I feel like this one is still pretty unique to my entire collection. So that's also a keeper. All right, the next 3, I think we're going to go ahead and do some comparisons of, even though the first 2 are going to be the closest. We have My Own Private Paradise, Runt, and Shy Ann. So these are all a form of a pink holo. My Own Private Paradise is slightly pinker in the bottle than Runt. I feel like Runt has a pinch of an orange lean to it by comparison, but once they're swatched, that sort of at least from my angle down here, isn't as noticeable. We'll see here in a second. And then Cheyenne has a larger particled silver holo glitter in it, as well as that linear holo that they all have. And here they are on the swatch sticks. From top to bottom, we have Cheyenne, Runt, and My Own Private Paradise. And I was actually wrong about the orange. I think that still shows up there in the middle. So we have the pinkest as My Own Private Paradise. Runt has a little bit more of that orange lean, and then Cheyenne has those larger particles. So technically I could compare Cheyenne to My Private Paradise to see how those compare in tones of pink. And it is darker. Okay, so we have Cheyenne as the darkest, My Own Private Paradise as the lightest of the three, and Runt has that orange lean, which I really, really like. So Runt is going to be a keeper for sure. That's not a contest. The other two, My Own Private Paradise and Cheyenne. Yeah, I feel like I'm okay letting My Own Private Paradise go. That is the more simple recipe of a pink holo. So I think I'm going to go ahead and go with that. We're going to destash that one. And then Cheyenne. Oh, this is in 3 coats. I didn't really say the coats. Runt and Cheyenne were in 3 coats, and My Own Private Paradise was in 2 coats. So Cheyenne has those larger glitters, and those are really pretty. I like the tone of this one too. It kind of has, I don't know, not quite a dustiness. There's something about it that I really like tonality wise. So I think Cheyenne is going to be a keeper as well. All right, so I got rid of 2 on the top row. So we are not even at a third. I'm off to a terrible start with my pinks. We're going to maintain our difficulty here with this because next up is another one that doesn't really have anything to compare it to, and that is Big Mistake, Big Huge. I think this is another one that someone said was from the Pretty Woman collection. This is in 3 coats with a glossy top coat, and this one reminds me very much of that classic pink eyeshadow with a golden shimmer. I mean, look how pretty that is. This is one that even though I feel like I see it everywhere still in eyeshadow, I don't necessarily see in nail polish. And because of that, this one is going to be a keeper as well. Like I said, I don't really think I see it around, and I don't know that I have one in my collection already. And actually, look how that would look over a dark blue. I think that could look amazing. So Big Mistake, Big Huge is another keeper. We are maintaining our role of not doing very well destashing this round. Next up, we are going to do, might as well do the next 3. So we have Rosy Posie, Bikinis, and Flip Flops. That was a Hypnotic Polish exclusive, and Fast Girls. So these are kind of similar, but I don't think we have dupes here necessarily. We have 2 that are a holo, and then Fast Girls has more of a shimmer component. They're in a very similar color range, at least close to each other, but the holo here is the closest component, and even there it is a different, I don't know if pigment size or type or what it is, but I am seeing a little bit of a difference. Now, there is a similar size in that main linear. Am I just seeing the other differences? No. Okay, there's a glitter difference. See those little blurple flecks in Rosy Posie? There are those little ghost blurple, either glitters or maybe a micro shimmer. And then the ones in Bikinis and Flip Flops is more of an orange. There we go. There's that orange. I don't know if the blurple's showing up very well there. Anyways, next we have Fast Girls. That one, like I said, is not a holo. That one is more of a jelly squishy formula. And then inside that is a beautiful blue to purple shifting shimmer, or maybe just a shimmer. I mean, either way, it's really, really pretty. Let's go ahead and see them on. So from left to right, we have Rosy Posie, Bikinis and Flip Flops, and then Fast Girls. So here you can definitely see the differences in colors. We have, again, sort of this orangey lean by comparison. Now, it's still a pink. This is, I would say, like maybe a pink watermelon, whereas the other 2 are leaning more into like the neon pink territory. Of course, you have the holo in the first two, although once swatched, it's not as obvious in that middle one. That was bikinis and flip-flops. And then in Fast Girls, you have that beautiful shimmery glow. These are in 2 coats, 3 coats, and 3 coats. And all of these have a top coat, of course. Do I need all 3 of these? Holding 3 of these is always difficult. Let's see. Do I need all 3? I actually really like Rosy Posie. I think the color on this is gorgeous. It has that neon quality to it, that bright, bright pink. Bikinis and flip-flops, I don't know, by comparison is kind of lackluster. It's not as hollow as I feel like it showed up in the bottle. That might have been intentional. Maybe it was meant to be more of a scattered crelly formulation, but because of that, I'm just not that drawn to it by comparison. So we're going to go ahead and destash bikinis and flip-flops, even though that was a Hypnotic exclusive. And Rosy Posie is going to go ahead and be a keep. I really like the color on that one. And then what is left is Fast Girls. That one is a jelly with a blue flash. I don't think this is going to surprise anybody. This is a keeper as well. This is a kind of color combination that always gets me. I will eventually need to do a comparison of all of the ones in my collection just to make sure that I haven't flat out duped myself, but this color combination I really enjoy and I like it on. It's one of my favorite tones to wear for summer, so that is a keeper as well. All right, still not doing so. Only got rid of one more. Okay, next up we're going to compare these two. We have Lucy, I'm Home, and Danger Zone. So these aren't dupes exactly, but they are kind of similar. Again, these are sort of arranged in color order as best I could get them. And these do have a difference in formulation. There's more of a holo in Lucy, I'm Home and a larger particled shimmer in Danger Zone. Here they are on the swatch. We have 2 coats of Lucy, I'm Home and 3 of Danger Zone. As you can see, they're similar in tone and again different in formula, shimmer versus holo. Lucy, I'm Home has a beautiful holo to it, although maybe not a straight up linear flare, at least in this lighting. And then the shimmer in Danger Zone is absolutely gorgeous. It sort of gives this almost rusty quality in the base color, and then you have the pink popping off of that in that larger particled shimmer. Both are pretty. Obviously, again, they were in my keep pile for a reason, but do I have to have both in my collection? I think for this one, I'm leaning more towards Danger Zone. Lucy, I'm Home is really pretty in the bottle, and I like the sort of orangey pink quality that it has. But once it's on the nail, it doesn't really keep a huge amount of that orange. I mean, it does by comparison to this one here, but I feel like on my skin tone, it might just come off as sort of a watermelon-y pink. I feel like I said watermelon-y pink about another one of these. Was that Runt? See, and I already kept Runt, and Runt is lighter. We'll bring that up here just to do a quick little comparison. Obviously, a lighter shade of pink by comparison to Lucy, I'm Home. I think, again, it is one of the more simplistic formulas. So I think Lucy, I'm Home, we're going to go ahead and destash. I mean, I have to get rid of some of these, right? And then Danger Zone is that larger particled shimmer, and I think I want to at least try this one. I'm very drawn to that sort of a rusty orange that you're seeing around the edges. I think that could look really interesting on the nail. And the size particles, again, you guys see me do this a lot with that size particle. I really love how it ends up looking. So Danger Zone is going in the keep pile. At least I got rid of one more. Okay, now on to the next 2. We are going to actually do the next 3. And these are Bee Stings, B as in B-E-A. I think that is maybe a Golden Girls reference. I could be mistaken on that. Life is a Highway and Courage Brains Heart. Now these again are not going to be dupes. I think the closest 2 are these 2 here, at least on the swatches. And then Courage Brains Heart is a bit more of a vibrant shade of pink and a more of a straight up hollow. But the other 2, Bee Stings and Life is a Highway, have a larger component in each of them. We have a larger particled red glitter in Bee Stings, and then Life is a Highway has a larger particled, maybe a couple of different kinds of colors of holo and micro glitters. And then the straight up holo of Courage Brains Heart with maybe a secondary shimmer component that you can see there. And here they are on the swatch sticks. We have Bee Stings on the far left, Life is a Highway in the middle, and Courage Brains Heart on the far right. And I mean, look at that straight up holo. That is amazing. So right off the bat, Courage Brain's heart is a keeper. We're just going to stick her down there because that's a keeper. That is simply amazing. Also, because it doesn't have the larger particle sizes of these other two, it is beautifully smooth and glossy with just one coat of glossy top coat. Actually, it's technically two, but the first one did nothing. I had to come back with another top coat, and I've been re-top coating them in this Sinful Shine top coat. These two still have a little bit of texture going on, so they're not as shiny. But do I need both of them? Oh, I should say also that Courage Brain's heart was 3 coats, Life is a Highway is 3 coats, and Bee Stings is 2 coats. I really like the glitter aspect in Life is a Highway, but equally I like the red glitter in Bee Stings. So both of these are gorgeous, but I felt like these were more comparable as I was doing the lineup. You guys on camera are probably like, yeah, they're pretty much the same polish. You don't need both. Which one do I want the most? So I think what I really like about Life is a Highway is that glitter is really prominent. You can see it, it plays across the nail, whereas in Bee Stings, that is a little bit more subtle, but you do get the red twinkle, that sparkle.
Both of them are so pretty.
Oh my gosh. They're a different kind of twinkle. They are a different kind of twinkle, you guys. I think we're keeping both. I was really thinking I was going to destash at least one of these 4, and we didn't. But oh well. Moving on to the last row. I don't think I'm going to make it to a third. This is not so wonderful, but we have 3 more to do comparisons of here in the bottom row. We have Party in Rio, Kit, and Sparkles Are a Girl's Best Friend. I would say that the first 2 are probably the most similar, but again, they do have different components. So we have some micro glitters and maybe even some flakies in Party in Rio. These 2 have these very similar, very, very similar juicy fuchsia base. You have some bigger flakies in Kit, and I want to say there's some small flakies like micro flakies or large particle shimmer in that one in a gold, plus there might even be holo. Yeah, there's definitely holo in both of those. Yeah. And then the Sparkles Are a Girl's Best Friend is more of a small particle, but that also has holo and a micro flake or large particle shimmer. Not quite as large as the gold fleck in Kit though. Okay, let's see how they look side by side. So these are all in 3 coats. From left to right, we have Party in Rio, Kit, and Sparkles Are a Girl's Best Friend. As you can see, the Party in Rio and Kit are very, very similar. There we go. I think once I have them up here, I can see a bit of subtle difference, but I mean, they are very, very close. Like I mentioned, there are differences in components. You have a larger flaky in Kit, whereas Party in Rio has a bunch of glitter and a smaller flaky. And then you can see there that Sparkles Are a Girl's Best Friend is more of a shimmer polish, less large particles, actually no larger shimmer particles or flakies or glitter in that one. But beautiful sparkles and a nice juicy shade. Sparkles Are a Girl's Best Friend does have a beautiful, almost linear holo, which I don't know if it's coming off on camera at all, but it is incredibly squishy. And I do love this shade of pink, but it is squishier than I was expecting it to be. So I think for that reason, I'm going to go ahead and let this one go. That is Sparkles Are a Girl's Best Friend. That one is going to be one of our destashes. And then between Kit and Party in Rio, do I need both? I don't think so. But which one do I like the best? So Kit, like I said, has more of the chunkier components. Actually, in the bottle, you can see some chunkier glitter down there as well as the flakies. But I really like how the holo is showing up in Party in Rio. But would I like Kit if more of that glitter had come out? Oh, goodness me, oh my. This one is tough, but I mean, I don't need both of these. I really don't. They are pretty similar. When you get them at a distance, I mean, they're very similar in tone. They're very similar in vibe. They both have beautiful sparkles. So I think for these 2, I'm going to force myself to make a decision. And I think I'm keeping Party in Rio and getting rid of Kit. Yeah, we're going to go with it. I do love the chunkier glitters in this one. Like I said, that you can see them beautifully in the bottle, but yeah, we're going to go ahead and just make that cut. Cannot keep them all. Okay, next up, we're going to go ahead and do the last three as a comparison. We have Summer Lovin', Lion, Scarecrow, Tin Man, and Hey Girl. And these I feel like are pretty similar in the kind of color that they are, obviously. These ones are a fuchsia leaning, not quite berry, but a fuchsia leaning pink. Recipe-wise, I feel like these two have a pretty obvious hollow component in them. That one especially on camera. And then the last one, Hey Girl, has maybe even a multi-chrome component in it and a larger particled shimmer. So differences there in recipe. I think the hollow in Summer Lovin' is a little bit more scattered, a little bit more of a linear flare in the middle one. Here they are on the little swatch sticks from left to right. We have Summer Lovin' in 3 coats, Lion, Scarecrow, and Tin Man in 2 coats, and Hey Girl in 3 coats. And I feel like here you can definitely tell the differences in tone and formulation. This one, Hey Girl, is definitely the deepest of the 3. And then the hollow isn't as strong, I feel like, in Lion, Scarecrow, and Tin Man. And that could be because it is only a 2-coater as opposed to the 3-coater of Summer Lovin'. So a good example of why oftentimes a hollow is a sheerer formula, because it sort of gets drowned out, or can get drowned out depending on the component used, in a thicker formula, a more opaque formula. Now it is still very, very pretty. In fact, I think with a glossy top coat that could be slightly more hollow. Again, this does have a top coat on it, and in fact has the 2 that I mentioned earlier, the Wet n Wild and Sinful Colors or Sinful Shine, but this one might be more of a thirsty formulation. It's very possible that if I were to wear this when I wear this, I would need to remember to wear it with a glitter smoother maybe to help the thirst factor. But yeah, once glossy, I mean, look at that. But I definitely don't need all 3. Problem is these, as close as they were in the bottle, definitely have differences. Oh my goodness. You know what? We're going to go ahead and gloss up Summer Lovin' as well, because I feel like with Lion, Scarecrow, and Tin Man re-glossified, it's sort of making this one a little bit dull by comparison. So there's Summer Lovin'. This one has another very squishy formula, but again, that it does have that hollow component. It's very possible that the maker was discovering that the particular hollow that she was using needed to have a squishier formula, or maybe that was just the look for this polish. Either way, it is very, very pretty. I love the color. It's nice and juicy, and the hollow component is beautiful. But like I said, do I need both? Do I need all 3? I like Lion, Scarecrow, and Tin Man. That is really, really pretty. It almost has a deeper tone to it, kind of like a velvet, where you get this deeper quality to it. Not quite as vibrant a color, but it is a rich color. I mean, it is definitely a rich color. Man, oh man.
Ugh.
I think I want to keep Lion, Scarecrow, and Tin Man. I think that one is really, really pretty. I like that it kind of has a mix between purple and pink and maybe even almost red that I really like. So that one is going to be a keeper. Am I keeping either of these or both of them? I think I'm going to make myself get rid of at least one. So Summer Lovin' is going to go ahead and be destashed. Am I keeping Hey Girl? You know what? I think with Hey Girl, oh, it does have an orange flash to it. See that orange multichromatic-ness to it? Is it noticeable? Kind of. In different lighting. Yeah, you know, in different lighting, that orange comes through. Okay, there you go. It's getting a reprieve. I was almost going to destash this one as well, but Hey Girl is going to be a keeper as well. Oof, this was bad. All right, let's see the damage done. All right, so we looked at 25 polishes, and I got rid of 7. 7 out of 25. I'm getting worse, you guys. I started off really strong with those fuchsias, and I feel like each video in, I keep getting worse and worse about how many I'm able to get rid of or cut. At the same time, I really like a lot of these. So goodness knows how I'm going to do on the purples. Oh, goodness me. Help me with that. In any case, hopefully you guys had a good time. Let me know which ones were your favorites. Did I destash any that you thought I should keep? Or vice versa, did I keep any that you thought I should destash? Help a girl out. Sometimes I am noticing as I'm editing a difference I could have made, but I've been trying not to let myself go back because this is my second round through them, and I will be doing a third later on. Like I said, after I'm doing a brand comparison, I do plan on comparing these to each other color-wise because I need to do that. With as huge as that haul is, I need to do that to sort of cross-check myself. But yeah, there we have it. That was the pinks. I was actually surprised that we didn't have that many pinks, but it's possible I didn't keep as many pinks. Purples, on the other hand, whew, that's going to be a big video. I think that's the color category I'm going to tackle next. As always, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you had a good time. If you're new, make sure to hit the little subscribe button down below. That way you don't miss out on any of my new videos, and I will see you in that next one.